Hanım'a çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Ben önce kendimden bahsetmek istiyorum biraz. 2005 yılında İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi Uzay Mühendisliği bölümüne girdim. 2009 yılında hem uçak hem uzay mühendisliğini bitirip mezun oldum ve Colorado Üniversitesi'nde master'ımı yaptım uzay mühendisliği üzerine. 2011 yılında mezun olduktan sonra oradan bir sene bir şirkette çalışıp daha sonra Rutgers Üniversitesi Endüstri Mühendisliği bölümünde Tuğrul hocamla beraber doktora yapmaya başladım. Hayatımın büyük bir bölümünde İTÜ'den mezun olduğumun yararlarını, katkısını ve İTÜ'de aldığım eğitimin ve tecrübenin bana çok büyük faydasını gördüm. İTÜ'de olmaktan çok büyük gurur duyuyorum ve böyle bir toplantıda olmak da bana büyük bir onur veriyor. Konuşmamızın geri kalan kısmına İngilizce devam edeceğiz. Konuşmacılarımız İngilizce sunacaklar. Our first presenter is Dr. Serpil Guran. She is currently the director of the Rutgers ECOCOMPLEX. Her responsibilities include management of the ECOCOMPLEX operations, programs, business incubator and facilities, as well as providing vision and leadership in establishing the ECOCOMPLEX as a nationally recognized center for the commercialization of environmental and alternative energy technologies. Additionally, Dr. Guran serves as a liaison to the regional environmental and alternative energy business communities, government agencies, and related organizations. Dr. Guran was formerly a research scientist at the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for 11 years, most recently with the Office of Economic Growth and Green Energy. Prior to that, she was a research scientist at Princeton University in the Mechanical Aerospace Engineering Department and at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden, Colorado. Dr. Guran specializes in research, development, and assessment of sustainable biofuel and recycling technologies, and life cycle analysis of alternative fuel production systems. She has authored more than 25 scientific articles and holds a US patent and a patent disclosure. Dr. Guran has an MS in chemical engineering from Anadolu University in Turkey and PhD in chemical engineering with a specialization in fuel and energy technology from the University of Leeds in UK. Please welcome Dr. Guran.
Önce çok teşekkür ediyorum İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi Amerika Mezunlar Derneği'ne. Beni de İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi'nin bu güzel anlamlı toplantısına davet ettikleri için. Ben İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi'nde okuma şansım olmadı. Anadolu Üniversitesi'nde okudum ancak kalbim İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi'yle. Özellikle kimya mühendisliği ve çevre mühendisliğindeki arkadaşlarımı buradan selamlıyorum. Ve very recently, çok yenilerde çevre mühendisliği ile beraber USAID proposal sunduk. Teklif, grant proposal. Kusuruma bakmayın, Türkçesini bilemedim. Bu arada İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi Kimya Mühendisliği'nde master deneylerimin bir kısmını yaptım. Onun için kalbim İstanbul Tekniklilerle, üstelik çok sevdiğim dostlarım var. Hepsini buradan selamlıyorum tekrar. Yalnız bir yardıma ihtiyacım olabilir. Tasarımı yüklemek için. Yeet introduced me in a way very nicely. Thank you so much also, Yeet. I'm going to switch into English and because it's difficult to speak in Turkish in the technical terms. When Peray Hanım approached me and she asked me about mentorship, however, I said I'm not an expert in mentorship. You know, I do a lot of mentoring. However, I'm not a professional educator. I teach. However, still, I see myself not a professional teacher. So she said that why don't you just speak about what you do, and then so I decided to talk about a little bit in the new clean energy technologies, and then so I can also offer some thoughts regarding mentorship. So first I'm trying to figure out, yes, a little bit, I'm going to do a little bit advertisement about where we are, what we do as ECOCOMPLEX, because I happen to manage the center. And then I will talk about energy-related drivers in the especially low-carbon economy, because I would expect you all would agree with me on the need for low-carbon economy development. And then I will offer my thoughts about systems thinking and how we can connect systems thinking into clean energy. And then also, when we speak about systems thinking, so why don't we apply this for career development, as I will offer my thoughts on that. So this is our building, ECOCOMPLEX. ECOCOMPLEX was formed in 2001, established as a research extension center of Rutgers University School College, School of Environmental and Business, School of Environmental and Biological Sciences. And but year 2011, when I was joined, when I was assigned to that center, we thought that agricultural and environmental activities cannot be separated from clean energy. That's very important. And also, when you speak about clean energy, it's not only just for clean energy, because we need low carbon economy. We need clean energy, we need job creation, we need environmental improvements. So, what we do at Rutgers ECOCOMPLEX, we conduct research and demonstration because we serve as a business incubator at the same time. I will speak further a little bit later. Especially our startup companies especially focus on clean energy development, clean energy technologies development. And also we partner with university brain power. And also we educate students, we partner with the scientists and faculty. And also not only university, but also entrepreneurs outside, and also Trenton and federal government. We communicate, and also national labs. And our main goal, as I mentioned, development of new clean energy technologies for environment and also for sustainability. When we speak about sustainability, it's not only environmental sustainability, it's also economic feasibility, but most importantly, social justice. So what we do, let me just list what we do currently. We partner with, as I said, with research with a lot of collaborators. We have a lab and office space. Because we are a business incubator, we rent, we have currently 15 companies in our building. And so we rent lab and office space much cheaper than market price. So that's why we provide government incentives. However, it's only for limited time. And we help our businesses with a strong growth business plans. Because when a new company, when they move into our labs, it's basically you're helping an inventor to make his inventions or her inventions into innovations, convert into innovations. So it should be very well structured business plans with the scientific development. So mostly we deal with the waste-based biomass feedstock supply. Just quickly, what our current tenants are doing, some of them are specializing in hydrogenation. Some of them are doing liquefaction, algae. I don't want to convert my seminar or speech into biomass seminar or clean energy seminar, but just to mention some energy crops development, landfill gas cleanup and power generation. CNG, LNG generation from landfill gas, and we have one company who is doing very cutting-edge life science research also. So let's get back to our own subject, energy, clean energy, and why do we need clean energy for low carbon economy. You all know that a lot of jobs went to Far East, and it is not possible to bring them back. And also you would all agree that we need further energy resources because world is getting crowded, because there are so many countries that now developing, and the demand for energy is increasing, and especially fossil fuel, very limited fossil fuel sources now, the demand is so high. Everybody wants to drive cars, everybody needs, they want electricity, they want fuels, so that is why the Western world should be careful about the further. Even if we have the current fossil fuel supplies, with the increased demand, there will be a gap between the current supply and the future demand. In 2050, it's projected world population is going to be 9 billion. So it's we have to think ahead. So also climate change, we have to mitigate the climate change, whether you agree or not, but it is also, it's an accepted reality. And so we need to diversify our fuel sources. And obviously, United States always, because we, this is Turkish talk, however, we have to, wherever we are either in Turkey or in the United States, whatever we do, we have to do cutting-edge science and technology. It's important. And also, this is important for United States security and posture. And so, I mentioned about that we are helping our startup companies, small companies, that they come into our clean energy incubator. And you would all agree, when you invent something in the lab, it's just an invention. For that invention to become an innovation and commercialized product, it takes a village. And so when researcher is ready to scale it up for next stage, next level, so they need financial help, they need engineering help, they need business help, they need funds, they need a market, they need, you name it. So basically, I just listed, and without boring you, technology, we have to have this, we have to achieve this diffusion of energy innovation into market. So it takes several steps, but mostly after you finish the technology level, and then companies, they pay extra attention. So what kind of development, new capabilities, and large or small companies, and some of them are new, some of them are experienced, some of them are domestic, some of them are international. And then that technology has its own industry sector. So that sector also plays an important role. And mostly also, I deal with the government a lot, and especially decision makers should really make the decisions on science base. So they have to have a flexible and inclusive style of policy. Policies should not change wherever you are, either you are in the United States or you are in Turkey. So they have to have a supportive policies. We're not talking about incentives, but we're talking about strong policies that should create an equal balance. The technology push and market pull should really good balance each other. And also, the policies should drive innovation, and also it should create a fair competition for the investments. So I mentioned that also the title is Systems Thinking. So I'm sure you all know about, but some of you may want to know a little bit more about this systems thinking concept. It's basically the word itself mentions that it's an understanding and application, correct understanding and application that we are trying to teach our students also. And also every level, the factors, you have to understand, you have to think, you have to see the big picture. Let's put it this way, it's an easy way to mention. However, the elements and then the interconnections between the elements and the end product, what's the purpose of this whole thing? Is it a product or a service? You have to think the whole thing. That's what we're trying to mention. Especially the reason we are applying this to clean energy technologies, because our goal is not just creating something that is going to solve the fuels or power problem. However, we have to mention about or just to make money. No, not really. We have to be careful about if we create something, it should not be maybe more pollutant than the fuels that it is displacing. I'm sure you all heard about corn ethanol, just as an example. Corn ethanol's life cycle analysis, if you just go from field to wheels, a life cycle analysis, carbon emissions are worse than gasoline. And because there are so many direct and indirect emissions involving with the corn ethanol, which is a first generation biofuel. So that is why it's very important in the energy technologies to apply this systems thinking. I was mentioning that you have to do a correct life cycle analysis, and it's a form of systems thinking. And I don't want to bore you further, And life cycle analysis, Professor Özel also teaches, right? So it's very important, and we have to teach and we have to know the process or the service should be much better than the service or process or product it is displacing. And so I think I have to, I ran further. So again, I said this for the clean energy technologies, but if we just say, how about the bioenergy, can it support a low carbon economy? Because we need low carbon economy, not only for environment, but also for the economic feasibility, for social justice we mentioned. So especially I am just quickly listing these because these are my expertise, if I could say, because you need biopower, biomass and waste-based technologies can provide low-carbon biopower, low-carbon electricity, biofuels, and bio-based chemicals and materials. Also, obviously, they have to be coupled with the, the good technology and the efficient technology, and also we have to integrate into existing infrastructure quickly. Again, we have to have a successful diffusion of this, innovation into sectors. And I mentioned this, and I don't want to list this again. So let's apply this into. I mentioned that I am not the very, formal educator. However, partly I educate also. So and also I mentor to underprivileged high school kids. So I guess I can still speak about mentoring. Systems thinking for career. I just listed these important components. You have to have structure, especially for the performance, and you have to do the training. You have to know the appraisal of whatever you're trying to achieve. And then creating mentorship programs, either yourself being a mentor or you have to mentor someone coming after you. So it is very important. When you have the team, when you're developing small business, for example, or as a research team, you really have to train everyone. And in your team, everybody should be well-versed on the technology or whatever you're trying to spread as a message. That's very important. No one should be left outside. Everybody in the team should be speaking the same goal. And you have to have interns, and either as yourself, you have to serve as interns while you're educating yourself, or you have to have interns. And obviously, when you become maybe a small company, mid-sized company, you have to have mentors, but also you have to serve as mentors. And college recruiting is very important. Having college recruiting days, participating in those days are important. And then information. IT experts. I'm sure there are many around or in our audience. It's important for efficient networking, social and business level. And then information sharing is important. And so you have to share your shareable data. It's very important for your success and others' success. And so decision making is very important. Sometimes when you reach to a point, you have to have an advisory group. And for example, for my center, we formed a very strong and committed advisory board, and so that we obtain their advice time to time. It's very important. It's made up from industry and also university and the experts of the subject that we deal with. And rewards, always. You really have to reward your team and yourself too. And you have to recognize everyone. And mostly the motto, let's transform mean and meaningless comments, mean and meaningless people, mean and meaningless experience into valuable and meaningful experiences. That's all I have to give you as a message of today, as a take-home for your careers ahead of, for the especially young friends. Thanks for your attention, and so I am ready for the questions later.
Thank you very much.